Welcome to Dry Arabia! And today, spawning in the south corner of the map, we've got Crackedyhere playing in teal as the English, and his opponent today in the north playing in red. We've got Kaup playing as the French. Welcome everyone to Age of Empires 4, this casted game, and well, it's Empire Wars, a new game mode. Well, actually it's been out for a while, but a lot of the pros are playing it newly because, of course, there's going to be a new tournament coming from EGC TV very, very soon. We've got the English versus the French. The French do start off with 3 extra villagers. It was 23 villagers for Crackedyhere and then 26 for the French and Kaup to start the game off. It's going to be an early council hall for the English. So as you can tell in Empire Wars, this format of the game, things get very spicy very quickly. Although there's only 2 villagers building the council hall, looks like it's going to be a second town centre for Crackedyhere. And well, let's just see what Kaup's up to. He's got 1 villager on stone. I think he's going to go for a second town centre himself as well. I think generally the French are very strong in the situation because, of course, they can afford a lot of town centres very quickly. Go to that Imperial Age and the Red Palace makes those town centres go absolutely wild. Having said that, the English have lots of potential as well. They've got the farms already spawned for them. A nice pack of 8. Gives them really nice, good food economy. And it's obviously very important to have that nice and early on. It pretty much means that they can get everyone else onto wood. And as you can see, if you haven't noticed already, we're on the Hallowed Hearth biome, the new biome to Age of Empires 4. It's obviously part of October's Halloween business. And well, it's a very spooky one. I like the biome, I have to say. I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of the biome? I absolutely love it, actually. In terms of visuals and how calm it looks to the eyes, it's beautiful. Especially things like pumpkins. A little bit of detail here. The pumpkins on the sacred site, although some of them are a bit kind of floating in the air. It's a little bit spooky, I gotta say. But, you know, it is Hallowed Hearth in the end, so it is what it is. We do get that next age coming in for both players at pretty much the same sort of time. And I suspect we'll see it at an early night. There we are. The French Royal Knight going to be coming out for Kaup relatively soon. Now, in terms of this matchup, I think generally in the way this thing's been going, this game mode and these 2 civilizations, I think it's going to be very slow to get going. I suspect both players will boom it up with plenty of town centers. But hey, listen, we've got a bit of time to kill until then, and there's lots to talk about because, of course, with those multiple town centers means lots of villagers, means lots of units coming in later on the game. So we're going to be having a lot of action coming in at the end of the game, at least, most likely. I mean, we don't know. It could be a early aggression from both players. You never really know on Empire Wars. Lots of variability, as you can see, going through the dead stealth forest of the night, chasing down the scout. The English scout not being able to... Well, he's actually going to manage to get out of there. Charge didn't last long enough there for that French Royal Knight. He backs off and goes to try and get some damage on some of the English villagers. Now, we do see that second town center on the northwest. What a crazy town centre spawn. Holy smokes, a boar, deer, berries, stone. What more could you want? I mean, I suppose you could ask for some gold, but, I mean, you know, can't be too greedy here. But a nice second town centre spawn here for Kaup. A second town centre for Crackedyhere, protecting that stone, because he's going to go for a third town centre. Super greedy. Now, we have ended up with the Age of Empires 4 meta kind of going towards multiple town centres. And actually, I find it really interesting with the English. I think Divine, to be honest, is probably the first person I've seen do this. They just spam out multiple town centers. And, you know, it's very difficult to push the English sometimes. They go for a fast Imperial Age with the Berkshire Palace. They could even go for a fast, you know, Castle Age as well with the multiple town centers and villages coming out and get that, it slipped my mind. But the keep landmark for the English, I don't know how it slipped my mind. Well, we'll be able to check it in a second, I suspect. But yeah. In any case, that offers a lot of defensive potentials here for the age ups for English. And the French can often go for a fast Imperial with the Red Palace, making multiple town centers being really, really strong as a kind of like a defensive posts and, you know, static defenses in a way. We saw the Mister do that recently in the EGC TV tournament, which was kind of crazy how that worked out. In fact, I did cast that game. I haven't actually published it yet. I'm not sure if I published it at the time of, you know, I'm not sure if I published this one first or not. But I will be featuring that one on the channel. I have casted it, so... it will be there. There's that third town centre now for Crackedyhere. Going to go for some barracks as well. Maybe get some man-at-arms in the Castle Age, which will be a bit of a tricky situation if Kaup does go for a lot of knights. Now, you know, both players only on 5 military. You can see both booming it up very, very nicely. Although that's going to be a bit of it. Oh, okay, he got in there just in the nick of time. That town centre goes up right at the time he needed it. Villagers garrison inside. All 10 of them as well. It does snipe the scout. So, if anything, all good there for Crackedyhere. And well, as we head into the 5th minute of the game, I might as well just say that if you guys have been enjoying the cast of the game, I appreciate you guys and all your support you've been giving. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, especially if you enjoy the casted games. yeah, we've got plenty more coming your way, that's for sure. Especially with the new DLC. I think I've mentioned it several times, but I'm super excited. 2 new civilizations to go with all the rest. It's going to be interesting. Now, I'd love to know for you guys, what do you guys think about the biome, Hallowed Earth? Let me know in the comment section below. I enjoy it. Actually, I think I'd love to see a lot more games. Unfortunately, it's not on the ranked ladder, so we only get to see it in custom games. But at least we get this one today between Kaup and Crackedyhere. That's kind of fun, for sure. Now, Kaup has stopped going on stone. Wait, hang on a minute. How many town centers is that? I lose count. I think that's the 3rd town center. Well, actually say that. He might even go for more because he's placed it on the stone and the gold. Could potentially go for 4 town centers. Will he snipe a villager? Does snipe 1 and the 2 and 3. Possibly a 4th. Does he go back for that one? I'm surprised he didn't in the end, but he decides to back off. There's a couple of spears chasing them down. And he probably wants to keep these alive. He does have chivalry as well, so these knights will regenerate their health and come back to fight another day. And well, with 3 town centers up and running, Kaup has gone back onto stone. 7 villagers on stone. Going to be expecting maybe a 4th town center, which is kind of crazy. It looks like Crackedyhere has stopped with the town center shenanigans. He's stuck with 3 and is starting to pump out the spearmen, which he's going to need, of course, with the knights roaming around. He does back away with those knights there, Kaup. Keeps them alive. Has a scout as well on the field just to give that extra bit of vision. The great thing for Kaup, he's got a lot of upgrades coming in. He's got wheelbarrow, horticulture, double broadaxe, the gold mining upgrade, getting the blacksmith ones too, and the Crackedyhere, he's kind of neglected that a little bit. He's only just getting it now. He's behind on villages, behind on economy. But that doesn't tell you the full picture, and I think things can change very, very quickly in this game, that is for sure. We'll see what Crackedyhere is able to do with his military kind of presence there on the map as they do head northwards, putting on a little bit of pressure, but it's going to be difficult to do too much without siege. Of course, the spin might dive this a little bit. Would be a mistake. Well, hang on, maybe not. He picks off 2 villagers. Holy smokes, how did that happen? Kaup didn't react quick enough, and he did lose a couple of villagers. Evens up the death count. He's just going to dive in. Okay, it's just poking and prodding. Villagers do garrisons up, but not enough. These guys are dishing out a heck of a lot of damage. I'm pretty surprised how much damage these spearmen are doing. Not only that, keeping them a lot of idle time. There's no blacksmith upgrades at all on these guys. Kind of insane when you think about it. Knights going in from the south, but again, not getting too much value. Enough spearmen there for Crackedyhere for sure. He's going north, going to pick up... Oh, this is juicy. A lot of villagers here. Crackedyhere, does he spot it? He does. Going to cut off those villagers retreating. He gets a good surround on 1. Should get a couple of pokes. It's just only 1 there for so far, but should be able to get a second. A nice value with spearmen going forward there for Crackedyhere. Decides to torch down the mining camp as well. Looks like Kaup is done for stone, or at least he's being pushed off stone, but he's going to go to the next stage with the guild hall. So he's going to get that castle age nice and fast. 21 villagers. Holy smokes, he wants to get there quickly. Now the guild hall is actually coming back into fashion here for the English. For the French, rather, because of course the guild hall is a nice landmark if you're playing late game. You get the food, everything you need there. You toggable, get that for free, and it collects over time. Just tick it in and cash it in, and it's all looking good for you. Couple of spearmen heading back north again for Crackedyhere. Trying to replicate his earlier successes. Will he be able to? The question is, with 4 town centers, Kaup should be in a better position to get the village count up and running a lot faster. It's already escalating to 74 versus 72 now. It's only got 3 town centers. Crackedyhere stopped at 3. And of course the French town centers actually do run faster. They actually produce more villagers. But there's the upgrade coming in from the knights. But a lot of spearmen chasing down. And the good thing for Kaup is that because he's got those castle age upgrades, he should be able to take a decent trade. But he needs to keep the knights alive if he can and keep them healing up with the chivalry. Villagers getting involved as well. This is a great trade-off there for Kaup for sure. He probably won't lose a single unit. And he gets a good nice round. Spearmen go to their death, and they didn't get the value that he wanted there, Crackedyhere, unfortunately. Now, despite having an extra town centre, Kaup isn't all that far ahead. Ahead by about 4 villagers, and it's because of Crackedihere's great job of getting villager kills with those spearmen earlier on in the game. And he's going to go to the castle age with the King's Palace, so he's going to get his 4th town centre here, Crackedyhere, effectively, and just to match things up a little bit. And that'll help him help him stay afloat and keep up a little bit. Because don't forget, these town centres work faster, so certainly still Kaup will be leading the way in terms of villager counts if all things remain the same. Double monastery, he wants to get those relics quick time. But you can just see how everything is so fast paced in Empire Wars. It's one of the reasons why I love this game mode for sure. Alright, well, Guild Hall is toggled onto stone. That means there's going to be a lot more keeps coming Kaup's way. Ideally, or most likely. There it is. There's the first keep. Going to be having the infrastructure built around it because, of course, the keep for the French gives it a very nice bonus. It makes archery ranges and stable units cost 20% less. It's a huge cost reduction, makes them pump out those units very nicely, and is going to need to because Crackedyhere has 18 units versus just the 5 knights that Kaup has, but the mobility is keeping Crackedy back at home. The issue for the English is that, of course, they primarily rely on infantry, and they are slow to get going. They just, they don't get out on the map all that much. It's not something that the English necessarily have to do, get out onto the map, but it certainly hurts if those relics are being picked up. It's going to be building some palisade walls on the east side. The good thing for the English is, if going for a fast Imperial Age is very, very nice, because they can then get the Berkshire Palace, or I should say Berkshire Palace, really. That's how it's pronounced. If you're from the United Kingdom, it should be Berkshire Palace, but I always forget. Nice farming transition coming in, maybe prepping for that Imperial Age push. At least needs to get up to that position, and it's a really strong situation for the English if they get to the Imperial Age. Of course, having enclosures, getting the free gold from the farms, and it's just really population efficient more than anything. Crossbow spearmen, a really nice army composition against, well, I mean, Kaup doesn't really have an army at this point, which is kind of concerning for his sake. He needs to actually start producing some. A little bit of siege for Crackedy will do wonders. Right, back on Dion on the west side. Picking up some relics, has one already. Looking to get many more, of course, with the 2 monasteries up and running. A lot of these scholars going, or the monks I should say, heading out across to the map. But Crackedy is starting to build up a bit of a force. 35 military to 10, extending the network of castles bonus with that outpost, giving the 20% attack speed on those units if they are buffed. And it's going to be a sacred site capture in the middle, but obviously I suspect Crackedy is going to deny that. Keep going on the east side sacred site. I like this position because, of course, there's going to be able to afford a lot of keeps here, Kaup, with that guild hall toggled on to stone. Now, I don't actually know how much stone it brings in per minute, but I believe apparently it's about enough stone for a keep every 2 minutes, which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it. I haven't done the math on that. If anyone has done the math, let me know in the comment section below. I don't actually know. It'd be kind of interesting to see how many keeps you can afford. Well, how quickly you can afford a keep with the guild hall toggled onto stone. The knights dive in onto the spears that have braced. Pick off 2 knights. A bit of a misplay there by Kaup, and he loses critical units. 44 military to 9, but the trouble is Crackedy doesn't have any siege. We'd love to see him push right now with the army, but he's going to try and get some relics of his own. Picks one up. In the meantime, villagers going out to stone again for Kaup, getting those keeps in the strategic positions, getting that map control. But here he goes forward now. Crackedy, he knows he's got a lot of military. He's going to pressurize that wood line, which is pretty unguarded, undefended. Only a couple of knights, a couple of archers. It's not going to be enough though. Crackedy, just a move, and it's going to assault all of those villagers on wood. I wonder how many are going to pick up though. They are retreating. Does have wheelbarrows, so should move them fast. But the crossbows with the range attack, getting good value. Knights trying to just bide time, but it's not happening. 13 villager kills for Crackedy, doing well to keep those villager numbers down as much as he can for Kaup, but it does still have that lead. It's got the sacred side on the east, 1 relic in the bag as well, 1 more on the way. Might pick off another sneaky villager there on the wood line. Hang on a minute, holy moly, Crackedyhere is going for the forward Berkshire Palace with a lot of villagers. Holy smokes, he's going to go for that fast Imperial. And that, guys, I mean, this goes up. I don't see a world in which Kaup stops this, not with the military numbers he's got. And I might try a Wallalow with the monk, but I don't think it's going to work. The range units from... Yeah, he's going to just back away. He's going to keep the relic, because of course if he loses the prelate, or the monk rather, underneath the Berkshire Palace, he's not going to get that relic in. But that is a crazy position for Crackedy, going full pedal to the metal, going to be aggressive, and to be fair, he kind of needs to. Now on the back of this, Kaup is a long way off of that Imperial Age himself. He had kind of expensive knights that he lost a lot of. And you can just see the destruction value is so much higher for Crackedy coming out of killing those premium units, those knights. Berkshire Palace is going to be denying this town centre producing villagers, killing every villager that comes out more or less. Bit of aggression on the east. Well, wait, he's trying to pick up that. Is he trying to pick up? That was greedy, but he's going to try it anyway. Didn't quite manage to get the relic anyway, but it is what it is. Going to go for a keep on the west side as well, deny that wood line. Ooh, this is interesting by Crackedy. I think he's going to try and starve Kaup out of wood. If Crackedy can get something positioned here, then certainly Kaup will be struggling for wood, and that will mean a farming transition will be tricky. It would mean that siege will be tricky, and of course siege is exactly what's going to be needed against this Berkshire Palace. Going to get the network of citadels bonus, increasing the attack speed from plus 20% to 40%. Pretty crazy bonus when you think about it. Check out the range on this guy. Holy moly. 15 tiles range now, and I'd love to actually check because I wonder whether the Red Palace outranges it or not. We'll have to see what Kaup decides to do in terms of going to the Imperial Age. Another trebuchet pops out. A couple of knights going to try and circumnavigate that Berkshire Palace. He's going to try and deny that sacred site. Does take out the monk, but he needs to ride out of there. The spearman going to chase a little bit. Has the sacred site on the west side activated, and a keep there too. I was going to lose that keep, that town centre rather, because of the Berkshire Palace. Forward siege workshops coming out for Crackedyhere. Would be expecting to see more trebuchets. Now, the thing is, Kaup does have 4 trebuchets. That is absolutely huge. That's going to deal a lot of damage. So Crackedyhere needs to do something about that. He's probably going to need some springles. Now, he's not actually producing any siege from his Berkshire Palace. Oh, he is. Yes. Trebuchets there. It's queued up. Nice. He does have a forward keep trebuchet coming out of that one, and a siege workshop as well. So this is a really nice push from Crackedyhere, especially considering you can produce siege units from the Berkshire Palace and the keep that's forward. Would do well to try and snipe some of these trebuchets, though 5 of them. Kaup might actually take out this Berkshire Palace. That's a bit of a problem. Does have villagers out for repair, but it's going to need to do a lot of work on that. He has equalized in terms of villager count. The good thing for Crackedyhere is that he has got enclosures. He's got the farms running. He's got gold coming, trickling in. This is so good for the English. It's so strong in terms of worker efficiency and just great economy. Guildhall still toggled onto stone. He's cashed that in recently. 1,330 odd stone for the French. Oh, that's on fire. The Berkshire Palace doesn't have enough villagers repairing. Those trebuchets doing great work for the French. Needs to deal with that somehow. He's keeping it alive for now, but I think that's going to go down pretty soon, the Berkshire Palace. Now, what does Crackedyhere do behind this? He's going to get roller shutter triggers, so I suspect he's going to be getting those springles out nice and quickly. He needs them. He needs to deal with those trebuchets. He's losing his forward position, but does have a large military force. He's pushing in with the spearmen, trying to snipe some of the trebuchets as much as he can. But there's a couple of archers there for Kaup, sniping those spearmen as they dive in. And that leaves the man-at-arms on the back line just to fend for themselves. Those knights looking healthy in numbers there for Kaup. 37 to 39 military. Kaup dishing out a lot of damage with that military units with those archers, just protecting those trebuchets. The knights might get some value now with the lack of spearmen. That kind of hurts Crackedyhere a little bit. As I say that, though, he's got a lot of crossbowmen on the field. Doesn't have any blacksmith upgrades, though. The same is not said for the French. They've got plenty of blacksmith upgrades. Trying to repair that... Well, okay. Every time he's trying to build that up again, it's just getting taken out. Trebuchets focusing on each other. Takes out a house first. Look at this. A very hard farming transition for the French, which is not bad. But the thing is, the English farms are just better. But something the French will have to do, obviously, eventually, as the food on the map runs out. Loses the forward outpost, which kind of reduces the vision ever so slightly. With 3 trebuchets remaining, it should be okay, Kaup, to take, or at least delay this Berkshire Palace going up anytime soon. Crossbow's going to rip through those knights. He's diving in, Kaup, there a little bit too prematurely, you feel. The knights aren't going to get all that much value. Man-at-arms tanking on the front line against those archers. This is a really strong push from the English. The man-at-arms tanking a lot. This is a big fight, and he should win this one, Crackedyhere, potentially. We'll have to see. Has a Springles focusing on the trebuchets. Springle comes out for the French, but it might be a too little, too late. Now, the crossbows have a really good high base damage, and they can trade decently well against archers. Not the best, but not too bad either. Villager comes out for the French, trying to torch down the Springle. Doesn't quite work out, but the Springle comes out. They take a good even trade there by Crackedyhere on that Springle. He has another one coming in on the back line, focusing on the trebuchets. The trebuchets are struggling now for the French, and it's going to be able to get Berkshire Palace back up again, you feel. If he gets that Berkshire Palace again, it's another good staging ground for Crackedyhere to attack from. There are 3 relics in play for the French versus the 2 for the English. But that relic is going to be popping out very soon from the French. Guildhall still toggled onto stone. He's got plenty of stone in the bank. The trouble is, Kaup is still stuck in the Castle Age. He might need to try and get to that Imperial Age if he can. I think he might need to switch this Guildhall onto food. He's struggling on food. It does have 44 villagers on farms, though. It might just be the farming transition taking long to pay itself back off. And if he loses that monastery, he's going to lose relic gold. The relic's already popped out. He relocated that monastery, good shout, and relocated the relics, but a couple of infantry for the English just kind of harassing a little bit, keeping those units occupied. And it's a slow death push almost coming in from the English with 2 Springles and 2 trebuchets. I love the addition of the Springles. I think that's changed everything on this fight. The Berkshire Palace just about to go up once again. Kaup can't keep up the pressure because he needs to get to that Imperial Age. Could place a red palace somewhere. Question is, where does he do it? He's got 2 Springles of his own. But he doesn't have the roller shutter triggers. Of course, it's an Imperial Age upgrade, I believe. So that's going to just make the units just better here for Crackedyhere. There's the red palace going to be going down. I'm not sure if that goes up, but he's going to rush it with a lot of villagers. 60... Okay, it goes up. when you're putting 66 villagers on it, it will go up. Now, the Springal's trading really nicely for Kaup. He's picked off the ones from the English. 2 trebuchets, though, focusing on the Red Palace already. The Red Palace should go up, but a lot of casualties lost here for Kaup with the crossbows focusing on the Knights. 2 Springals heading forward for Kaup. He's going to try and snap as much siege as he possibly can. There's the Red Palace. Does go up at the end. And the range... Holy smokes, that's a lot of stuff happening. It's only got 10 tiles range, actually, compared to the 15 for the Berkshire Palace. That's why it's a little bit close, but it is what it is. And now it's going to be Red Palace versus the Berkshire Palace. Kaup actually spamming a lot of units. He's actually doing really well because Crackedyhere is low on numbers. He lost a lot in that situation. But there are no trebuchets for Kaup. Oh, I take it back. There's 3. Okay, 3 versus 3 in terms of trebuchets, but this Red Palace, it was taking a lot of fire from the trebuchets as it was being built, and it's just a little bit too much because it's going to go down. There aren't that many villagers building it. It does go down in the end, and now Kaup's Imperial Age landmark, now that it's gone down, that was one of his main defenses. Does have enough stone for a keeper. Will he get it? And where would he put it? That's the question. This Berkshire Palace is doing so much damage. The range is so strong. Another trebuchet coming out for the English. It feels like it's going to turn into a springled fight, and just who can take whose trebuchets out quicker. There are a lot of them there for the French. He needs to deal with the Berkshire Palace as much as he can. If you know, it's really not ideal having a Berkshire Palace in front of your face. All right, well, he loses the second landmark, loses the capital town centre. Only 2 landmarks remain for Kaup. That is the School of Cavalry and the Guild Hall. Berkshire Palace still remaining alive. Now, Crackedyhere is actually at full population. So is Kaup, to be fair. That's a lot of trebuchets. Only 1 Springal, though, for Kaup. I think Crackedyhere might just dive this. He might look to take out as many of the trebuchets as possible. Does have a lot of spearmen, quite a few man-at-arms as well. Man-at-arms coming in clutch. A lot of crossbows actually added into the mix for Kaup. Primarily to deal with the man-at-arms, of course. Does lose 1 trebuchet. 2 trebuchets, I think, but still 3 more remain. Springald fight, it continues. The Knight going to try and dive that Springald. I think he doesn't quite get it in the end. Oh, he snipes there. Nicely done by Crackedyhere to snipe the Kaup's Springald. Gives him the Springald advantage. 2 more heading in to make 3. And he's fighting underneath the Berkshire Palace, which is certainly not ideal. But it does snipe out one of the trebuchets there with that Knight. This is looking crazy. 44 minutes to 35. Could go either way, but the Berkshire Palace certainly helping out. Oh, the Guild Hall might fall next. That is the last landmark. Guys, this could be it. Crackedyhere might take out this landmark. It's on fire. This could be the end of it. Could potentially. Let's see. Only 1 more, 2 more hits. Will he get it? Crackedyhere. He should get the win with the units torching it down. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Kaup, well, he gets eliminated. A great game of Age of Empires 4 on this new biome. Crackedyhere takes it with the forward Berkshire Palace.